Welcome to EPG Pathshala in the subject of information technology, the paper of distributed application development. This module is about the JSP standard tags. In this module, we will learn about what are the various standard tags which can be used in a JSP and how to use them. In JSP, what we can use? We have seen JSP is made up of HTML tags. We can use everything that goes in HTML that can be used. We have seen the other scripting elements which go in a JSP, scripting elements like the expression, the scriptlet, the declaration. Then we saw also about the directives. Fine. We saw those page directives to control how the translation takes place for the JSP. Fine. We also saw about the page the include directive and the taglib directive. Of course, that third one, the taglib directive, that is related to using tag. Taglib is to be used only when we are using some kind of a tag library. There is a provision for developing tags. A programmer could create tags, and then the web page designer, the JSP designer, he simply uses those tags. If he wants to use the tags from the tags developed by another developer, he will be using that @taglib to include the tags or the tag library. He has to use those files, which we will be looking at that later on. Fine, about how he uses the tag library, some other tag libraries, tags which are developed by some other. Another thing, so he will be using tags which are developed by other developers in his JSP by using the @taglib. Fine, the taglib directive. Now, in this module, we are currently going to be talking about standard tags. These do not require taglib. These are tags which are always available to a JSP developer. JSP developer uses these tags all the time. Fine. He can always make use of them. There is nothing additional required, nothing to be included, just develops his JSP and uses the 10 tags which are always going to be available. Let us see what are these tags. One of the simple things, as we had discussed in the MVC architecture, what we had seen, what is the role of a servlet? What the servlet does? Servlet receives a request, does processing. After doing the processing, gets the results in the form of Java beans. They are nothing but the data components, the Java bean components, and then forwards to a JSP. But before forwarding to a JSP, it would set them as attributes. The results would be set as attributes because these are the things which have to be rendered. Find these values, these data objects are the things, the values from the data objects are the things which are then to be rendered by the JSP. They have to be shown in the JSP. So, the servlet would be creating these objects or rather fetching these objects by doing some processing. Once he has fetched those objects, set them as attributes in request session, most of the time in request or in a session, and then forward it to the next JSP. If instead of forwarding, if you are using a redirect, then it would be always a session which has to be used because it is a different request in case of a forward where the Java Bean component would be set up. So, we have Java Beans component being set up and then shared through a request or a session object to be used by a JSP page. So, what is the JSP page going to do now? It has to show the values, the various properties from the Java Beans component, fine, which it is receiving from a servlet through a request or a session object in most cases. So, if we have any such objects, fine, Java Beans component which have been created and being shared, how do we render them? So, for that, the most commonly used tags, we categorize our standard tags which are available as part of JSP all the time. We categorize them as bean tags. We got 3 such bean tags. We have got a tag called useBean, get property and a set property. These are the 3 tags which are related to the Java Bean. Then we have 2 more tags which are categorized as resource tags. Those are the JSP forward and JSP include. And then we also have another tag which is related to the component, like you might be including an applet or something. So, we got a tag called JSP::plugin. It is a plugin tag. We will be going through all of them. So, starting with the bean tag. So, the bean tag, the first, if we have any Java Bean component, yes, we can use a bean tag which is to be rendered in a JSP. What we use normally at the beginning of such a JSP page where some kind of Java Bean components are available, we would use a tag called JSP::useBean. This tag JSP::useBean has attributes like, one is the attribute called class, which would specify the class of the Java Bean. So, which Java Bean component class it is? It would have an attribute called ID. Okay. It would have an attribute called name equal to. So, what is the name of the Java Bean? It would have another attribute to specify scope. In which scope is this attribute coming from? Is this Java Bean coming from? Sometimes Java Beans are also going to be created by the JSP using the same useBean. See what it does, what JSP colon useBean does. You are specifying the class, you are specifying a scope. What will be done? You have specified also the name. So, what will be done is it will see whether by this name do we already have an attribute in this particular scope, and if it is of this type, if it is there, it is going to use something similar to a get attribute method from that scope. What are the values available for the scope? Oh, when you specify the attribute for the scope, scope equal to, there are 4 options, oh not just 3. Oh, we have only seen 3 things where we can share objects, right. We have seen, oh, we could share object through using a request, we could have shared it using the session, or we could have shared it in a servlet context, which is nothing but an application object. Fine. So, here what we have here is we got 4 options for scope. It is not only request, the lowermost, the smallest scope is that of the page, the next scope is the request, then is the session scope, and then is the application scope. That way we got 4 different scopes. Fine. The smallest one being the page scope. Yes, page scope, because within the same page, fine. If there is something to be shared within the same page, why this same page? Why there is something called same page? Oh, aren't we on a particular page? We are on a page. If we want to share something with another tag, yes, there are tags. This is a, currently we are talking about is a standard tag, but we will later on be looking at even the tags which have been developed by other users. Fine. When we use tags, these tags have their own life cycle, and that life cycle is within the scope of a page itself. So, if there is something to be shared within the scope of the page, for that reason we got in JSP pages a scope called page also. Fine. When we were developing only using servlets, we had only 3 scopes. We had 3 places where we could share objects, that was request, session and application. Now we got page also. Fine. So, for scope, one of those 4 values. So, yes, whenever in a JSP we use the tag called useBean, JSP colon useBean. We are specifying an attribute called class. We have specified an attribute called name, name of the bean. So, if there is an attribute by that name, and if we have object by this name, and if it is of the same class as specified in the class, okay, and in which scope? Oh, the scope is going to be the one which we have specified, one of those 4 scopes, whichever scope we have specified, it must find that attribute there. If it does not find such an attribute, what happens in that case? In that case, this being a simple Java Bean component, it is able to create an object of that class using the default constructor and put it in that scope. So, useBean is going to only do a check if it is there or not. If it is there, then it becomes available from this point onwards. With JSP colon useBean, this component is now usable in this JSP page. If the component was not existing, not found in that scope, it would create new one. If it was found in the scope, it would pick it up and not create a new one. Fine. So, if some component was being shared, we could simply use it. If the component here is shared by using attributes from the servlet side. So, servlet might have set an attribute, which we are now getting it with the help of JSP colon useBean. Fine. So, JSP colon useBean, the commonly used attributes were class, name and scope. Fine. Scope, we understand there are those 4 values. Name is name of the attribute. Okay. Another thing which we can also specify probably is, you may specify type also, type equal to, but whenever you specify type, it would be some super type or same as the class. If you do not specify, type is considered to be same as the class. Fine. Most of the time we do not even specify the class. Fine. So, this is one tag called useBean. So, when developing a JSP page, in the JSP page, in the initial part, if we want to use certain component, if we are going to render some values from a particular component which is available as an attribute, we will use the JSP colon useBean. So, from this point onwards, it is going to be available. Next what we do is then another next attribute tag, fine, another tag which is bean tag is the JSP colon get property. Yes, what we do here is JSP colon get property name equal to, yes, here we use name equal to, I am sorry, I think as far as the JSP colon use bean is concerned, we do not have that name equal to, the attribute there is ID equal to and there we give the name of the attribute. But here when we say JSP colon get property, we will say name equal to, name is nothing but the name of the bean, and then we say property equal to, and here we specify which property's value is to be rendered, fine, is to be fetched. So, here JSP colon get property with two attributes to fetch any value from the object, fine. So, use bean initially, this requires that use bean must have been specified first, fine. So, JSP colon get property only after using having a JSP colon use bean. Anytime you can use JSP colon get property and render. So, within your JS, which is nothing but your HTML page, fine, kind of HTML, any place you can always include your JSP colon get property and display the value from a particular attribute. So, JSP colon get property is used in this manner. Fine. A third one which has been used, third one is JSP colon set property. Set property for specifying, changing the value of a property, changing the value of the property in a particular bean component. Fine. Normally, if you are following a MVC pattern, JSP's role is only of rendering, it is only of showing it. But anyway, set property is not about showing something, fine. So, that way it is not conforming to the MVC pattern, fine. It is not, JSP's role is, responsibility is not about changing, it is not supposed to be taking action, it is supposed to be only showing the things. But anyway, we have this tag called JSP colon set property. Let us see how we can use this set property, what are the various attributes here. Again here also we have the attribute called name equal to, fine. So, specifying the name or name of the bean which has been, which has already, for which we have done a use bean, fine. Once we have done, fine. So, if there is a use bean, then we can use a set property with name equal to, fine. We will have property equal to, which property is to be changed, fine, which is the property whose value is to be set, and then value equal to, we have the option of saying value equal to here, fine. So, when we say value equal to, we are specifying a value and that property value will be set. Oh, what do we specify in value equal to? Some hard coded value. Are we going to have always hard coded values, some fixed value to be set? Oh, most of the time if we are having the use of a set property, that means this component most cases is more likely to be something which has been created here. It is not something which was there shared by a servlet, but it is something which has been created here and we are setting it up. Okay. So, if we are setting it up, we would like to set it up from something which has part of a request, maybe it is some parameter in the request, fine. So, whatever is the value of a parameter in a request, this is what we would like to set as the value here. So, what do? No, we do not want to say value equal to and give some fixed value, but rather we would like to have whatever is the value of a parameter going as to be set on the as this particular property. So, here we can use, we have, instead of saying value equal to, we have an option of specifying param equal to and specifying the name of a parameter. So, what will be done here? It will pick up the name of the value corresponding to that parameter name from the request and set it for the value of the property specified on this bean object. So, we got these kind of these three bean tags, fine, JSP colon use bean, we have got JSP colon get property and we also have JSP colon set property, three things, fine. So, three tags. We move on to the resource tags. Oh, we have got two resource tags here. There is a tag for resource tags, yes, this is like the JSP does not want to do the processing, but would like to forward to some other thing. So, we have got something called JSP colon forward, or maybe the JSP wants to include some part from some other JSP or some other resources, fine. This is similar to request dispatcher. We would like to use something similar to a request dispatcher. Recollect, in request dispatcher we had two methods, forward and the include. Okay. So, same thing. So, same thing can be done even within a JSP simply by using tags. We have a tag called JSP colon forward. We have the attribute in JSP colon forward, we have attribute called page equal to. So, we can say page equal to so and so. Fine. So, what we specify here is maybe from this JSP we just simply want to forward to another JSP. No, I do not want to render, let the rendering be done by the next JSP. But when we do this, maybe at times when we say JSP colon forward, we might like to pass some parameters, some request parameters, maybe those are not actually there in the request, but let it be available to the some parameters. When someone says request.get parameter, it should be available to the next resource. If you want to pass on some parameters to the resources, fine, we even have a inner tag within the JSP colon forward tag. Within the JSP colon forward tag, and to that matter not only in JSP colon forward, when we look at the JSP colon include, even in that tag also we can use this as a nested tag. The inner tag is JSP colon param. We can say JSP colon param with the attributes are name equal to the name of a parameter and value equal to, can create a value. So, we are able to create new parameters, fine, and specify a value for the parameter, which will be going as a value for the next resource, fine, wherever we are forwarding. So, like we do a JSP colon forward, fine. So, we can have JSP colon forward, we specify a page, and then we also within that, if you want, we can have inner tags called JSP colon param and then have a slash JSP colon forward, or simply JSP colon forward slash, fine, if there are no parameters to be passed on. Now, like JSP colon forward, we even have JSP colon include. The JSP colon include, what it will have, again this also has something called page, fine, this also has page equal to, and you specify maybe our next resource, fine. This next resource will be another JSP page probably, fine. So, what do we want to do? Sorry, if it is a include, it is not necessarily a JSP, it might be any other resource, but when it is a include, it means I would like to include a partial content provided from some other resource. So, you have some other resources, I am forming this whole JSP, within that some part is to be rendered by picking up content from another resource. So, you are picking up asking some other resource to generate a content, and whatever he is generated, that is being included here. Okay. So, here there is one more, this is something which can be done with JSP colon include, fine, page equal to the other resource from where you would like to fetch the content to be rendered, and then nested within that can again, like similar to this JSP colon forward, here also you can use JSP colon param and include some kind of a parameter, fine. So, this way you can also have JSP colon include, fine. So, two tags for resource tags, fine. Okay. Okay. One more thing, as far as JSP colon include is concerned, it even has one more attribute called flush equal to. So, flush equal to true would mean that before it starts including the other content, it will flush whatever it has in whatever is there so far, anything before this use of JSP colon include is there, thing which was there before this, all of that gets flushed and then it is including it, fine. So, that option is available with JSP colon include. Moving on to the next tag. Next tag, okay, many times we might like to include an applet within our page, fine. If it wants to, if we want to include an applet in our page, we can use the JSP colon plugin tag, fine. It has the attribute called type equal to. So, type equal to, it would be applet, then like the attributes for the applet tag which we use in normal HTML page. Okay. Here also we have the attributes for, we have the attribute like code equal to, fine, we can specify code equal to, we can specify width, we can specify height, fine. We can specify the align attribute, we have the h align, v align, okay, fine. For those, fine, the tags which we have not for a normal applet, all of those the attributes which are available for a normal applet tag, all of them are available here. Another important one which is available here with but it is not available for an applet tag is we here we can specify JRE version. we can specify JRE version equal to what is the version requirement of our component. Our component here is the applet component, fine. So, we have applet, so we have JSP colon plugin, type equal to applet, code equal to width equal to height equal to, all such attributes can be specified, and we also specify JRE version. The JRE version, which is the minimum version which is needed by this particular applet, fine, that can be specified here. So, you can say JRE version equal to maybe 1.6 or 1.7, whatever is the minimum requirement here, fine, which JRE version is our applet being compiled on, right. So, that can be specified. Then as far as applet was concerned, applet had the inner tag called param. Here also we would like to have parameters being available for our applet through the JSP tags. Okay. So, through this JSP tag, if we have said JSP colon plugin and type equal to applet, we can include parameters here. Okay. We have a tag called JSP colon params, fine. We have the tag as JSP colon params, and then it has an inner tag called JSP colon param, fine. The JSP colon param will have name equal to and value equal to, fine, it will have name and value. So, to include parameters for our applet, we have JSP colon params with inner tag as JSP colon param, fine. So, multiple JSP colon param tags can be included, fine. So, this way we will have JSP colon plugin tag and JSP colon plugin having JSP colon params, and then inner tag is JSP colon param, fine. That way our plugin tag can be used, fine. So, this is how you can have tags within a JSP, fine. These are nothing but our commonly used standard tags which can be used in a JSP page, fine. In the next module, we will be looking at how to develop the custom tags, fine. This is about standard tags. Now, if some developer wants to develop and create his own tags which can then be used in JSPs, fine, we will be looking at that aspect which is about custom tags. So, how do we develop custom tags, fine, that will be the next module, fine. So, let us summarize. So far what we have seen is, so these are the commonly used standard tags which we can use in a JSP, fine. In the next module, we will be looking at how to develop custom tags, fine. These were the standard tags, but if some developer wants to create his own tags which can be included in a JSP. So, for that we have an option of someone being able to create his own tags, fine. So, we will be looking in the next module, we will be looking at how we can develop these tags of our own. Okay. So, thank you friends.